Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making some meals to stick in my freezer. So the first thing I'm going to be starting with are these vegan breakfast sandwiches. So in order to make these breakfast sandwiches, I have to make some vegan egg. So the way that I make my vegan egg is that I just soaked some red lentils in water for a couple hours. You don't have to use red lentils, you can use mung beans, you can use dried chickpeas. I really like the taste of the red lentils. And then all I'm going to do is add these into a blender with like a cup or 2 cups of water. You can see how much is there. It like kind of covers it. And then I'm going to add some seasonings and some baking powder. Now the baking powder I like to add because it makes it a little bit less dense and a little bit more fluffy. And then you can just add whatever seasonings you want. The key to give this its eggy flavor is to use the black salt because that has that like sulfur-like taste. So if you want to add that black salt, that's a fun thing to pick up. If not, you could just flavor it however you like. You just want to blend this up until it's nice and smooth. And then I like to cook these in my muffin top pans. They create these perfect little like egg patties, and then I just use these to stick on my sandwich. So for my sandwiches, I'm going to be using a flat out flatbread, some BioLife cheese, some Light Life bacon, and then my egg patty. And then I like to individually wrap these and put them in the freezer. If you don't want to wrap these in foil, you could always wrap them in plastic wrap, or you could flash freeze them and just put them in a big bag or a container. I like to put it in foil, it just makes it easier. And then when you want to pop these out of the freezer, you can just wrap them in a paper towel and put them in the microwave for a minute on each side. If you didn't want to have to microwave them, you can just defrost them overnight and then put them in the air fryer. The next thing I'm going to be prepping is eggplant parmesan. So for this, instead of using like the usual egg wash that people tend to bread things in, they dip it in egg and then they dip it in breadcrumbs. I like to make a little flour batter, so I just put a little bit of flour and I season it a little bit depending on what I'm making. And then I'm going to dip the pieces of eggplant in this flour batter, and then I'm going to dip it in the breadcrumbs. You just want to kind of eyeball the water. You don't want it to be too thick or too thin, but just thick enough so that it sticks to whatever you're breading. Since I have my breadcrumbs out, I'm also going to be making a batch of tofu nuggets. These couldn't be any easier. I just like to take a block of extra firm tofu and press a little bit of the water out, not too much because that's what's going to help it stick to the breadcrumbs. So then I just like to slice these into nugget-like shapes, and then you just toss these in breadcrumbs in either a freezer bag or you could do it in a container. You could season them if you'd like. I like to keep mine plain because that's how my kids like them. And you just want to make sure you don't cut the nuggets too thin or else they'll get tough after you put them in the oven, put them in the freezer, heat them back up. It becomes like tofu jerky. So make sure they're thick enough so that they still have their texture to them. I just like to bake all of this in the oven at the same time. It makes it easier. When the eggplant is done, I just pull it out of the oven, let it cool for a while, and then I'm just going to top these with a little bit of marinara sauce and some vegan cheese. And then I'm going to flash freeze these on this baking sheet so that I can take them and put them in a freezer bag afterward. This way, they're easy to just pull out and cook. You could either cook them in the oven, you could cook them in the air fryer, you could serve them over pasta, you could put them on pizza, you could serve them with a salad, you could put them on a sandwich. They're really versatile and it's really handy to keep in the oven for those days where you don't want to cook over the summer. So I hope you guys liked this video and it gave you some inspiration and some fun ideas of what you could stick in the freezer for your summer. Stay tuned, there's going to be more videos like this, and let me know if there's anything specific that you want to see in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys!